The Oxford Mail, quite bitter really, reports that according to Rachel Reeves, the so-called Oxford-Cambridge Growth Corridor has the potential to be Europe's Silicon Valley. What do we take of that? Emily, you were talking about this Oxford-Cambridge thing. Does it really have the... I just don't get this.
It's time. You've got new government, new Silicon Valley.
But train line...
it's better than a roundabout, isn't it?
Yeah, but
it's a bit more
It's a nice
ambition.
headline. It's a nice headline.
Did Silicon Valley start with a train line?
Well, I do think communication links are really important.
Well, isn't that an internet thing rather than a train?
It currently takes 2.5 hours to get from Oxford to Cambridge.
But
the train.
Well, what's going to happen if you can go from Oxford to Cambridge? Like people are going to be just rushing between the two to tell them the latest idea.
They meet once a year for a boat race. That's enough.
In Putney.
Okay.
I noticed that. So, despite the Oxford Mail headline, I have to say that most of the Chancellor's examples of cool stuff were happening in Cambridge.
Okay.
Cambridge.
I just want to clear up something here. This is a Cambridge girl. She was born in Oxford. She went to Cambridge, and it comes through. It's insidious. She just like little defensive.
I do think transport links are really important because Cambridge, particularly, less so Oxford, Cambridge feels really isolated, even from London.
But
it feels like a little island in the fens where you go and you stay there.
But you're talking about college reunions, aren't you?
No,
you're talking about how difficult it is to go back to whatever it was.
If you want to attract staff, it is ridiculous that you can't get directly. Bletchley Park was chosen in the war because it was midway between Oxford and Cambridge.
And so you tie in three.
And these are absolute centres of excellence. However, I do feel that the Oxford Council will have its own way. It may take, now 50 minutes to get from Cambridge to Oxford on the train, but to get to your workplace with all the traffic schemes, it will take another 2.5 hours.
Oh, that's a huge Lib Dem bashing subject.
Can I throw something in the pot?
candidate.
Living 6 miles from Gatwick.
Yeah.
Okay. I was furious at the news on the airports in London.
Are they doing a third terminal at Gatwick?
Well, they're allowing the taxi thing to become a runway, which will help a pension fund, I'm sure, get backing. I allegedly. I just find it really, with young children who come home and nag me about being green and the climate being an issue, and all these politicians doing white papers and standing up on green issues, and then to throw the towel in and build some... Gatwick is not even at capacity. And if you want to support business and support growth, invest in these tech startups.
Don't put taxes on national insurance.
On small businesses. We don't need white elephants which make good headlines. If we're not part of the EU because we chose to leave and we're having tariffs from America, the question is, so who's going to want to come to the UK? Actually, what we've got to do is create competitiveness through tax incentives, through grants, through investment.
Kieran, haven't we passed this? We've had old Labour come back in now. Yeah. We've had the old kind of tax them and kill them, class wars happening, taxing private schools and stuff. And now they've panicked and they've flipped because there's no growth. And now they're going, we don't care.
Well, this is what I'm really irritated about. It's like literally our Chancellor typed in the chat GPT, how do you cause growth?
Deep sea.
And it's like, you create a new Silicon Valley and you put in new airports and that's what we're going to do. What really bugs me is...
Do you think it will work?
No, I don't think it'll work at all. But what they're ignoring is the entire rest of the country. Mm-hmm. It's London, Oxford and Cambridge. So rather than keep trying to squeeze more out of
Build an airport in Stoke. Or Newcastle.
Or Exeter. You went to a Russell Group. How do you feel about the Oxford-Cambridge Railway without Exeter being part of it?
My experience at university was very different. I chose to turn Durham and Bristol down to go to Exeter in the late 80s, which Durham was not impressed by. But I wasn't going for academic points. I was going to have a good time.
But if you're talking growth, connecting Oxford and Cambridge is not the answer. What you should be connecting is Sheffield and Manchester and Liverpool and that band of big cities.
All the stuff they count.
It takes forever to get across.
Isn't that the Northern Powerhouse? What happened to that?
Isn't that the big train from London? I can't remember the name of it.
The HS2.
The HS2.
Where is
Connect
that?
up the north. I mean, they're not.
Guys, we're getting our trains.
But all this infrastructure stuff, building airports, building high-speed things that never get finished and all this stuff. I had a meeting. I'm in Sussex. I had a meeting in Wolverhampton on Monday. I drove there. I was there in 2.5 hours. This is a very small country. Yeah. All right. So let's not worry about this. We're not Canada. We're not North America. We're the UK. You can drive north to south in a day. Let's focus on the things that really create growth. You talked to Emily, go back to that, about the great ideas and innovation coming out of our research teams. The problem is there isn't investment to grow it.
Yeah. No.
Let's do the things that create growth rather than the things that maybe create headlines.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Well, we've had super topics. We're going to come back to all of those. Before I finally wrap up, Voice of God, do we have a comment of the week?
We do have a comment of the week.
That is the voice.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Voice of God.
Hello. Are we going to have a chat?
It's good to be back.
Yes,
very good.
great to
Thank
have
you.
you
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
Voice of God.
So, comment of the week. This is in response to the not AI lawnmowers, but just, is it an AI lawnmower?
I guess it must be.
No,
it's a
not an AI,
robot.
it's a robot.
It's just a robot. Okay, yeah. This is in response to our lawnmower clip on TikTok. This is from Eb Norrish, who says, imagine feeling sorry for a machine that does something all day, every day, but for humans it's expected. And yeah, I do think they're adorable too.
Oh, that's
Eb.
very sweet. Thank you, Eb Norrish.
And quite a good.
nice.
That's
close
a
to
nice
my
point
heart
too.
because I got 22,000
Oh,
hits
Really?
talking about
did
this,
you?
Kieran.
And you've not
Really?
mentioned either.
I'm
mentioned
sorry.
it.
I
Mentioned.
apologise if I've already mentioned it. These things slip my mind, But what I was interested in was I was feeling very sorry for the robot because we could see it from Ditchley House in the garden, 2 headlights like lights, working day and night, and that's very sad. I think that was a sad thing, and we
Maybe
want
it takes pride in its work,
It did feel it's so. You just want to humanise it,
Update
don't
the
you?
software.
No, I felt really sorry for it. I thought,
Job
what
well
a
done.
life.
Yeah.
What a
well,
life.
I think, Guy, it's this emotional impact. What I think got me the hits on TikTok was.
Did you get 22,000?
Was it?
How many?
Oh, I don't know. Lucian, how many was it?
I don't know.
Could be 23,000 now.
Oh, it
By
could
now,
be now.
it's
So
probably
it was a
growing all the time.
sensation.
Anyway, Guy, I was going to talk some guff about the linking emotions and human factors with robots, because I think that's what we're all doing with robots, aren't we? We're just moving towards this sort of trying to make them more and more human. We started with just eyes in the dark, but
I think the important thing is that we don't become robots ourselves.
yeah,
We've
I,
got
I think that's Eb Norrish's point as well.
Well, I
feel
want
sorry for the
to
robots.
throw
What
in
about
a bit of news on that. In the Writers Guild in the US is now looking at doing a human-authored certification for its books. So we're basically going to have to prove our own humanity, like we're organic produce now.
Oh, that's
So it's
a
like
huge topic.
human-produced. And that's going to be the thing that you have to prove.
that's-
And
Everything else is going to be machiney.
Actually, that reminds me, dating apps are now doing a liveness test. So when you sign up to a dating app, apparently, you not only have to produce your government ID, but you also have to strike some poses in
I'm
response
sorry, my
to
mind,
instructions.
the imagination is racing. We've got to
I'm
prove.
just telling
You're
what
thinking your next
that's what I've
22K,
heard.
I've got
Yeah.
to talk about this.
So
in
this
more
is
depth.
to make
Next
sure
time,
that it's
next
actual
time.
humans on the dating app rather than robots.
But the big thing on AI, I think, though, as a parent, I think we all are, is I think rather than focusing on the now, I think we need to be giving thought to what children need to learn at school in the world they're growing up in. Because some jobs won't be there, some jobs won't be needed. What skills are needed and what do they need to learn, and how do we prepare them for that?
Thank you very much, guys. We're out of time. I've got a shopping channel to launch. So we've been talking about
TikTok!
we've been talking about TikTok, a new and largely unknown Chinese AI system called DeepSeek, which has been rocking the tech industry, our office and global markets, and also the Oxford-Cambridge growth corridor, which has the potential to be Europe's Silicon Valley. Thanks very much.